but you can repair it with Pronamel Repair. It penetrates deep into the tooth to actively repair acid-weakened enamel. I recommend Pronamel Repair. With new Pronamel Repair mouthwash, you can enhance that repair beyond brushing. They work great together.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein. 30 grams protein, 1 gram sugar, 25 vitamins and minerals, and a new fiber blend with a prebiotic.
Monday on ET, we're with the all-star cast of Kung Fu Panda 4 at their LA premiere.
Nunchuck Hero! Hey, hey, hey!
Tune in Monday for that. Now, we have one more thing for you to check out before we say goodnight. Bye, everybody.
Is something trying to get out?
Paul Rudd reunites with his proton pack of scary misfits in new scenes from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire out March 22nd.
I think audiences are going to dig it.
Yes, we do love a man in uniform, right, Jared?
That's the good part.
Here's your first look at
happening now.
San Antonio's mayor is pushing for help with the Migrant Resource Center. He says it relies on federal funding. Coming up, how he says the president's visit plays into this.
As we head into Super Tuesday, the presidential campaigns kick into high gear, but Nikki Haley is still challenging Donald Trump. The staggering amount of money she is still raising, and if she still has a path to victory, even with a single win this coming Tuesday. Next.
As we head into the weekend, it's only going to feel more spring-like in the days ahead. I'll talk about the return of the humidity and when we could see a few thunderstorms. News at 5 starts right now.
The bipartisan border security deal is a win for the American people. And it's a win for the people of Texas. And it's fair for those who legitimately have a right to come here.
First at 5, San Antonio's mayor says that bipartisan border bill could bring relief to San Antonio. Ron Nierenberg is pushing for more help with the local Migrant Resource Center.
During last week's Know My Neighborhood episode, we told you about how some in the Sheer Hills Ridgeview neighborhood, where the Migrant Resource Center is located, have welcomed asylum seekers. The mayor tells our Daniela Ibarra the city wants to continue doing that, but they need lawmakers to act.
The ripple effect of the border crisis is being felt in San Antonio. Mayor Ron Nierenberg says since 2021, the city has seen more than 600,000 migrants come through.
We've been able to deal with it in a way that protects public safety, maintains order, and treats people with the basic dignity and humanity that they deserve.
Nierenberg says the Migrant Resource Center on San Pedro is crucial. It gives migrants a place to eat, stay, and get help. The city opened it in the summer of 2021 as a temporary resource.
How much longer will the Migrant Resource Center be operating in San Antonio?
Well, I will tell you, we have resources to operate that facility, but they're finite.
The mayor says city council plans to look at backup plans to keep the facility running next week. But he says the feds can do more.
This border issue is so very frustrating, Daniela, because it is less an immigration crisis as it is a political crisis.
It's why Nierenberg says he traveled to Brownsville Thursday to meet with President Joe Biden.
Did the president ask you anything specifically about San Antonio?
Well, he asked us how it's going, and I reported to him that it is a challenge. Our Migrant Resource Center is funded by our federal government. It is operated locally and funded by our federal government, and those funds will only last so long.
Like the president, Nierenberg is pushing for the passage of the bipartisan border bill.
It's very frustrating, but we're going to continue to fight to make sure that congressional leaders hear us and that ultimately they do the right thing for the American public.
Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
New at 5, Bexar County Sheriff's deputies and U.S. Border Patrol arrested 3 people for trying to smuggle migrants through San Antonio. Sheriff Javier Salazar says his office received information that an 18-wheeler with human cargo would be passing through the city yesterday evening. That big rig was found and stopped near I-10 and W.W. White. Inside that trailer, 12 males, 2 of them minors. The driver of the truck was arrested, along with the people the sheriff says were trailing the big rig in other vehicles.
It was quite a scene on the north side, and at this hour, San Antonio police still searching for a driver that they say was involved in this fiery crash on 281 early this morning. Officers say a 76-year-old woman also involved in the crash did not survive it. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identifying her as Eden Nuval. Police say Nuval was driving on the 281 flyover ramp at Loop 410 about 3 a.m. when an SUV hit her from behind, causing her car to change directions and hit a concrete barrier. They say the impact caused her car to roll over. The driver of the SUV got out, but officers say they took off and did not help Nuval. That SUV then burst into flames itself. We're told Nuval was seriously injured, taken to the hospital where she later died. Investigators say when the driver of the SUV is found, they'll be charged with failure to stop and render aid, resulting in death.
A San Antonio Fire Department cadet, while actually at the fire academy, was arrested by Chavano Park police. He's accused of attacking a woman. Chavano Park police say that John Estrada choked a woman and tried to sexually assault her in the back of a car in late January. He was taken into custody on January 30th while at the San Antonio Fire Academy on Callahan Road. An SAFD spokesperson confirms that Estrada has been let go from the department. According to court documents, Estrada faces charges of family violence, strangulation, attempted sexual assault, and unlawful restraint.
As the calendar turns to March, the presidential campaign kicks into higher gear with a busy week of primaries and events on deck for next week. And for one candidate especially, it could be a make or break moment.
Karen Kafa joins us live from the White House to break it all down. Karen.
Yeah, Myra and Steve, Super Tuesday is typically when you see these presidential campaigns go national, but it's been clear for quite some time that both of the two presumptive candidates are pivoted toward the general election. Meanwhile, President Biden has a big speech on deck next week, but congressional drama could overwhelm his message. Dueling visits to the Super Tuesday state of Texas and the U.S. southern border with Mexico Thursday were another sign that President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump have set the table for a 2020 rematch this November.
I understand my predecessor's legal past today.
What he's done to our country is he's destroying our country.
But Trump still has a Republican challenger in the race, and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley told reporters Friday she raised another $12 million in February. Crucial cash as she tries to pull off at least one win on Tuesday when more than a dozen states head to the polls.
How many more times do we have to lose before we start to say maybe Donald Trump is the problem?
Haley's path to the GOP nomination narrows with each loss to Trump as the former president outpaces her delegate total. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden has an opportunity to tout his administration's accomplishments before a major national audience Thursday when he's poised to deliver his State of the Union address on Capitol Hill.
The president sees this as an incredibly important opportunity, not just to address Congress, but also to address the American people, millions of people.
The White House says that the election year speech will continue to be drafted over the next week. And President Biden is expected to spend time in the coming days with aides and advisors at the Camp David presidential retreat, fine-tuning and rehearsing that State of the Union speech. A White House official says this particular speech has actually been in the works for months now, underscoring how important the Biden team believes it will be. Live at the White House, Karen Kafa, KSAT 12 News. Stephen Myra.
And Karen, there was some movement in the legal proceedings around former President Trump today. So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, two big hearings taking place, Myra, including one that the former president attended in South Florida. This was about the proposed start date for that trial that involves the allegations of mishandling of classified documents. Trump's lawyers asking the judge to move that to August, while federal prosecutors want to see it begin in July. Of course, Trump's lawyers and federal prosecutors mindful of the countdown to the election and also of the other legal dates on Trump's calendar. And in Georgia today, you also had the closing arguments by lawyers for Trump and his co-defendants in that election subversion case taking place in Georgia. They've got the Trump and his co-defendants seeking to disqualify the Fulton County District Attorney Bonnie Willis for what they say was a conflict of interest regarding an inappropriate relationship with a fellow prosecutor that she had appointed. Neither judge making a decision in either of those hearings today. We'll watch and see in the coming week.
All right, Karen, before we let you go, President Biden delivering his State of the Union address on Thursday, as you said. How do incumbent presidents typically approach these important election year speeches, and what areas do you expect Biden to highlight on Thursday?
Yeah, this is really important, Steve. Even though the number of people who sit down and watch a State of the Union speech has dwindled in recent years, it's still an opportunity to connect with millions of American voters. And that is what the Biden team is really trying to underscore as they prepare him for this speech. We do expect that Biden will look back at some of his accomplishments that his administration has had in these 3 years or so that he's been in office. But we also expect the president to draw distinctions between himself and his presumed opponent, Donald Trump, in particular in the area of the economy, talking about things like more taxes for the wealthy and corporations and also lowering prescription drug prices. We also expect that the president will address the Israel's war with Hamas. We have had all that pressure in that Michigan primary, something very much talked about among progressive Democratic voters. And of course, this is a speech that will be updated right down to the minute that President Biden delivers it next Thursday, Steve.
Very important speech. Karen Kafa live at the White House for us. Thank you, Karen.
And a reminder, just a few hours left to vote early in the primary election. Early voting ends at 8 o'clock tonight. Then the polls will open up again on Election Day. That's Super Tuesday next week, March 5th. We have information on voting locations and sample ballots you can look at right now on KSAT.com.
And want to let you know for a rundown of election races and early results here in San Antonio and the surrounding areas. And we're also going to look at the country on Super Tuesday. You can join Myra, Arthur, and I for our Super Tuesday live stream. Decided to give you a formal introduction, not just Myra. Arthur will be joining us. We have analysis and reactions that'll be available on all of our KSAT media platforms beginning at 7 o'clock next Tuesday night. Please vote.
New at 5, the only sugar mill in Texas has shut down after operating for more than 50 years. The reason for that, not enough water.
Yeah, according to one Texas farmer, it's the result of an unfulfilled obligation outlined in an 80-year-old water treaty with Mexico. The ripple effects of this mill closing, hundreds of jobs lost, along with hundreds of millions of dollars for the Texas economy. In total, 250 full-time, 500 seasonal jobs at the Rio Grande Valley Sugar Growers Incorporated are gone. The local economy there will have to do without $100 million, with an overall amount of $300 million that'll be missing from the Rio Grande Valley. Texas farmer and member of the Texas Farm Bureau Board, Brian Jones, says Mexico has added multiple dams since 1944 when that agreement was signed. That's slowing water inflows into the U.S.
So Jones says that the sugar industry in Texas is permanently lost, but he also fears that with continuing lack of water, tens of thousands of acres of fruits and vegetables are now at risk as well.
As farmers, we're allocated our water, and over the last 2.5 years, 3 years, our allocations have continued to drop. And going into this 2024 crop year, most of the farmers down there that normally irrigate, we have no water to irrigate with at all.
Jones said that citrus and vegetable crops are also integral to our state's economy, and the continued loss of the production of those would have an impact on Texas consumers. We have a full breakdown on this story right now on KSAT.com.
I want to show you a traffic trouble spot right now at this hour, 410 and Bandera. You can see they have the cones up there. I believe some sort of an accident. As you can see, emergency workers seem to be working off in the distance. Again, this is 410 and Bandera. I believe it's the eastbound lanes of Loop 410. One, maybe two lanes closed there, and that's causing that slowdown.
The warming trend has begun. Yesterday, we couldn't even get out of the 40s all day long. Today, we got back to 71 for the high temperature, which is actually 1 degree above average on this March 1st. The record, 89, set back in 1899. Now, earlier this morning, we were 46, and that was pretty close to average. Seasonable, you could call it today, but we'll be warming up a little bit into the weekend. Del Rio, 78. Floresville, 74. Kerrville, 83. 75. Micah. Windcrest at 71. A beautiful Friday, really a perfect Friday evening to get outside. We'll have a clear sky, calming wind, not much of a breeze out there, and not as chilly as what we had last night. By 8 o'clock at 62, 10 o'clock we're down to 57. We do have some issues for morning fog in the days ahead. We'll talk about that along with our next chance of storms in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Still to come here on the news at 5, spring allergies, they are no joke in Texas. Even if you try to stay inside, you might still have to deal with symptoms. So what you can do to keep breathing easy indoors. Next. Here's a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. A man accused of attacking 3 people, stabbing one of them to death at a barber shop, was supposed to stand trial. How that ended in a plea deal today. San Antonio's archives document the city's history going back more than 200 years. But in this digital age, much of that is still like this. It's on paper. How long the city clerk says they need to digitize it all. That and more today at 6.
Nobody wants to breathe in dry, dirty, polluted air. And then there are the allergens, the dreaded yellowy green oak pollen right around the corner. Air purifiers and humidifiers may help.
We could use any help. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has information to help you breathe a bit easier.
Your home may be nice and cozy, but when the air is dry, it can be uncomfortable.
A humidifier can help keep the air inside of your home at a comfortable level. However, a humidifier that isn't cleaned properly can produce mold spores.
Some mold can even cause flu-like symptoms, skin rashes, and irritate your eyes and lungs. To keep your humidifier fresh, follow the manufacturer's instructions for maintenance. But here are some general guidelines. Every day, rinse it, towel dry the tank, and fill with clean water. Every week, give it a deep cleaning with vinegar and replace the filter according to the manual. Newer, more tightly sealed home construction improves energy efficiency, but it also keeps fresh air out. Consumer Reports says that can be a potential problem with indoor air pollutants from sources like gas stoves, cleaning agents, pesticides, and aerosols.
In addition to humidifiers, people also use air purifiers to reduce allergens and indoor pollutants. So it's a good idea to keep these well maintained.
You can also improve indoor air quality by vacuuming regularly, limiting indoor smoke, and occasionally letting fresh air in. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Today was a good day to do that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Fresh air in?
We're going to have a few days where we can let the fresh air in, Adam.
Unless you don't like the allergens.
Oh.
There's a trade-off.
I know. I hate to kind of twist this into that. But, it's something you have to consider this time of year. Luckily, most of our allergens are on the low end. We'll have a look at that pollen count later. Let's get an update on the Texas wildfires up in the Panhandle. And, of course, the biggest wildfire on record in Texas now. Over almost 1.1 million acres burned, 15% contained. The Smokehouse Creek fire, that's just north of Amarillo, and we have several other fires ongoing as well. Both are 60% contained. We need more moisture. They've had a lot of wind. They've had dry air. We need more moisture, and we could use, obviously, the rain around here as well. But you look at the big picture, all the good rain off to the east of the Mississippi, and also moving into the West Coast. I mean, we're talking several feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains in California. Several feet of snow. Crazy. Anyway, a lot of moisture coming on shore there. We're in the middle, and even yesterday we didn't really get in on any of the activity from the rain showers that are in North Texas. We had just a few light showers here and there in our area, but nothing of significance. Big swirl in the Pacific, throwing that moisture and energy onshore. California, Pacific Northwest. I wish I could say that big system's barreling our way and it's going to give us a good hit of rain. I just can't. I'm sorry. I wish I could. This was going to stay to the north. However, we will have a little change that will help us out a bit. The wind will be coming off the Pacific, the upper level flow, and it'll have some energy embedded within it as we get into Monday and all of next week. That introduces daily storm chances. We're talking 40% Monday afternoon and evening, then 20% isolated in nature the rest of the week, basically. So at least we'll have a little bit of instability to work with and some energy streaming overhead to give us some hope for a few showers. Temperature-wise, for the most part, 70s to right near 80. 73, though, Helotes, 72, Stinson, 78, Comfort. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up to temperatures in the 40s to right near 50 degrees, and then tomorrow afternoon, we'll warm up very nicely. We'll get up to 80 for the high temperature with a lot of sunshine. However, it comes with a caveat. Early risers, you will notice the areas of fog around sunrise, and then we get off to a lot of sunshine. And then Sunday is going to be pretty similar. It's going to be not a big change throughout the weekend. Near 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon on Sunday. just a few degrees lower because of a mainly gray sky after that morning fog. Dew points right now near 50, but the humidity will be noticeable by Sunday. That's when the humidity returns and we get back to that mugginess back in the air, and it's going to stick around for a good portion of next week. So anticipate that spring-like feel back in the air. Meteorological winter is done. We're talking about it in the statistics coming up at 6.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right. I was so pumped up about the game last night. I high-fived Larry on the air and said, let's go honking.
Oh, wow. Man, I missed out. I was at the arena enjoying it.
I know. You were enjoying the game. I don't think you really missed out.
It was a very special night inside Frostbank Center. The Spurs reunited with their home crowd and put on a show to take down one of the top teams in the Western Conference. Plus, the state girls basketball tournament is in full swing. Bernie takes on Canyon inside of the Alamo Dome. Highlights when we come back. After nearly a month on the road, the San Antonio Spurs were back in front of their home fans last night and put forth one of their best games of the season to defeat Oklahoma City 132-118. Also spoiling the Thunder's opportunity to tie Minnesota for first place in the Western Conference. The Spurs shot over 50% from the field and finished with 19 three-pointers. San Antonio also cut turnovers in half from its prior showing that led to 30 points for the opposition. Victor Wembanyama, Devin Vassell, and Jeremy Sohan dropped over 20 points, and the Spurs faithful was lively from the jump, all making for a magical evening inside Frostbank Center.
The energy in there was crazy, especially that fourth quarter. I mean, it was just like almost giving you goosebumps every single time we got a stop or, score. So it was huge. Just coming back here after rodeo, it feels like we haven't played here in so long, and I love it.
It was nice to be back home after that month-long road trip. That's, never easy to go on, but it's always good to just be back home. I think our fans, really backed us up tonight. And getting out to a good start was definitely important for that. We started well and closed well, and that's been something that we've struggled with all year, is coming out to a good start and then closing the games as well.
The Spurs are back on their home court Sunday when the Pacers come to town for a 6 o'clock tip-off. After that, San Antonio is on the road for a week before they're back home for the rest of the month. And hey, at 6, we'll break down last night's Spurs win even further and relive the moment Victor Wembanyama took the mic to share a heartfelt message to fans. State basketball has taken over the Alamo City. The Bernie girls basketball team in position to build on its already historic season this afternoon, taking on the Canyon Eagles in the Class 4A state semifinals over at the Alamo Dome. The Eagles came out firing, knocking down 6 threes in the first half, including this one from Jaylee Morris. Morris all net from deep. But wait, before the intermission, Bernie's Avery Aaron working in the paint, and Aaron floats one in over her defender, a beautiful shot. But in the end, Canyon wins it 53-39, and Bernie ends its season 34-5 overall. Great season.
A great season.
Absolutely.
Too bad it ended that way.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
38 days now until the total solar eclipse, Monday, April 8th. Here's another fact. The partial solar eclipse can be seen up to 3,000 miles away from the path of totality. Path of totality, of course, where the moon completely blocks out the sun for a short period.
All right. Thanks, Adam. And thanks for watching the news at 5.
World News up next. See you back here at 6.